Hello everyone, welcome back to the Roundtable. My name is Tom, and today we got a pilot for a new animated show from the same studio that brought us shows like Voltron and Avatar: Legend of Korra. The basic synopsis or pitch in the YouTube description of the pilot mentions that this is a show aimed at boys and girls from 6 to 11, but intends to focus on subjects that can relate to all ages. As of right now, I believe no network has been confirmed to pick this up, but I assume we're going to see it on Netflix based on a few things. One, the studio has worked with Netflix before on DreamWorks Voltron, which was definitely successful regardless of varying opinions on the show itself. Two, the demographic is mentioned to consider audience members of all ages, which I know is a focus for Netflix to reimagine how demographics are treated, and the attitude of how to cater to the audiences of their shows. And three, it's Netflix. They're swooping in on every new animated show it seems, and they're quickly turning into the new big dog in town, and they have not been shy in picking up animated shows in the past. But also the tone of this whole pilot just feels like it would fit well on the platform, especially since they established a conflict right away that seems to indicate an overarching plot, which is generally best for shows on streaming platforms because you want that drive to watch the next episode and know what happens that one-off style storytelling just doesn't have. Now, as far as my impressions of the actual content of the pilot, I see a lot of potential. I'm not sure how much they plan on changing the art, but I think the character models could use a bit more polishing, maybe just some deeper shading or darker outlines, but if not, it's not a make or break detail. I like the contrast between the background and the objects in the environment. It has a sort of 3D element to it that I think is pretty cool. I did notice that the frame rate of the animation is a little slow, and you can definitely see it in the dubbing, but that's all stuff that can be tied to budget, and if corners are going to be cut for the pilot, that's where I'd expect to see them. But what isn't tied to budget is things like composition and direction, which is done very well. Most of the pilot is made up of an ongoing action sequence where they manage to communicate what they want you to pay attention to, and you can tell whoever worked on this had a lot of fun thinking of what they could do to make this interesting, utilizing the environment and the powers of the two characters. Those two characters are Taco, who is a talking cat with water and ice powers, and Koji, a boy who somehow has electricity-based powers, which I personally really like the concept of lightning and thunder powers, probably why Sailor Jupiter is my favorite Sailor Guardian, and why I grew up loving Static Shock. They're just so versatile, and as a writer, you can really set whatever rules you want for them, and in animation, it can make for some really cool stuff. Like, look at how Koji zips around or harnesses literal lightning, and tell me that isn't satisfying to watch. Right now, my expectations for this show are kind of on a spectrum. Visually and conceptually, it looks really good and has potential to be great, but that's not always enough for a good show. It really comes down to how well the story itself is executed and how they develop the characters. But I'm definitely going to check this out whenever and wherever it comes out, and I suggest everyone else do the same. But let us know what you think. Does Koji seem like it could be a big player in animation? Tell us in the comments below. Find me on Twitter, Instagram, and Tumblr at TommyPQM, or hit up Roundtable Vids on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to smash that like button, share it with your friends, and if you haven't already, subscribe to the Roundtable and hit the bell to never miss a video. If you're feeling generous, you can support us on Patreon for your name at the end of our videos, or for a bit more, you can get a shout out for anything you want to promote. My name is Tom, I hope you have an awesome day, and we'll see you next time. Bye bye!